Hello everyone, welcome to this session on cybersecurity. So far we have covered two modules. So in the module 2, we have seen how criminals plan the attacks, followed by some of the techniques for attacking. First one we have seen is social engineering, where we have seen human-based social engineering as well as computer-based social engineering and the associated techniques. Then we have seen what is cyber stalking, and then we have seen what are botnets. And that we have seen the life cycle of a botnet, and also I have given you a case study of Mirai botnet. And then we have seen what is an attack vector and some examples of attack vectors. And finally, I gave you an introduction to cloud computing, and we have seen what are the different risks associated with cloud computing. So these are all the things that were covered in module 2. Now we are moving towards module 3. So module 3 is about cybercrime with respect to mobiles and wireless devices. So the different topics that are going to be covered under module 3 are like this. So first we will see some introduction, and then we will see the rapid increase in the mobile and wireless devices. Then we will see trends in mobility. After that, followed by credit card frauds, and then what are different challenges posed by mobile devices, and then registry settings for mobile devices. This is specifically with respect to mobile devices with Windows OS. And then we will look at some other things related to authentication service security, followed by different kinds of attacks that can be performed on mobile or cell phones. And then we will look at security implications for organizations with respect to mobile and wireless devices. And then we will see what are some of the measures that can be incorporated by organizations for handling mobiles, and then organizational security policies and measures. And finally, we will conclude module 3 with laptops, that is how to secure laptops. That's it. Now let's see the introduction. So all of you know, and all of you have seen that in the recent years the use of laptops, personal digital assistants PDAs, and mobile phones have become a part of business as well as daily life. Okay, so whoever you see, they are having their own mobile, and majority of those things are smartphones. So the usage of these laptops, PDAs and mobiles brings challenges to secure these devices, okay, from being a victim of cybercrime. So personal mobile security is different than compared to security of mobile and wireless devices in organizations. Just imagine once everything is secured in an organization, one of the employee buys a new mobile and installs the organization software, and it is insecure. That is, the mobile don't have any antivirus, firewall, etc., etc. So the attacker can exploit the mobile of the employee, and from that mobile they can connect to organizational systems. So it's very difficult to provide security when in the case of mobile and wireless devices. So that is this. What is this point is saying? Managing these devices outside the walls of office is challenging to the IT departments of companies. And this is an interesting statistic. So you can see number of mobile phone internet users in India from 2015 to 2022. So you can see here there is a gradual increase in the number of mobile internet users. And again statistics from India. So this is from 2018. So at that point of time, the population is 1.3 billion. So in that on a total population, 67.5% is rural and 32.5% is urban. So you can see 21% of rural people are using internet and 66% of urban people are using internet. And when you combine these two things, there is total 35% of internet users across India. And that too, this is in 2018. Maybe in 2021, right now, it might be around what I think is 50% or even greater than 50%. So recently, due to Jio's free internet and all these things, lot of people are buying mobiles and using internet. Right. And another set of statistics. Again, this is from 2018, and this is across the world. So there are 77.593 billion people across the world, and internet users are 4.021 billion, and social media users, and then unique mobile users, and then finally active mobile social users, which is 2.958 billion. So you can pause the video and have a look at this. And then we are moving to the next topic, proliferation of mobile and wireless devices. So proliferation in the sense rapid increase. Okay, right. So a simple handheld mobile device provides enough computing power for running small applications, games, and everything. Okay, you can browse internet, you can have chatting applications like WhatsApp, or you can have Slack. You can use payment applications like Google Pay, Phone Pay, etc. Your mobile acts as a mini computer. Okay, that is why many people are purchasing mobile phones and using them to access internet, making payments, etc., etc., playing games. Right. Now, although we use these terms like mobile and wireless devices uh, quite interchangeably, there is some difference between them. So now we will try to understand difference between what are handheld devices, what are mobile devices, and what are wireless devices with the help of a diagram. So you can see in this picture, first of all focus here. So in this diagram, the small rectangles represent mobile devices, triangles represent wireless devices, and circles represent handheld devices. Now when you see the examples, it will be quite clear what is a handheld device, what is a mobile device, what is a wireless device. So if you see here, we have the mobile device circle, that is all the mobile devices, and within the mobile devices a subset is wireless devices, and another subset within the mobile devices is handheld devices. So mobile devices means they are portable devices. Okay, so you can carry them from one place to another place very easily. So an example for mobile device here you can see is a laptop. Okay, so laptops are portable, right? You can carry them in your hands from one place to another place. And if you see the handheld device, the example is PDA. Okay, so PDA means personal digital assistant. Okay, so if you see PDA, it is saying it is mobile device as well as handheld device. Okay, and if you see wireless device, the example is a desktop PC with wireless access. Of course, a PC is not, uh, I mean, what do I say, mobile device. It is purely a wireless device. So you can't carry a PC from one place to another place whenever you want. Okay, it is quite heavy. So it is wireless. It can be wireless by using wireless. What do you say? Okay, you can insert a wireless USB modem into your desktop PC, and your desktop PC becomes wireless PC. Right. And one example for mobile as well as wireless device is laptop having wireless access. Okay. So this laptop does not have wireless access, whereas this laptop has wireless access. So it is both mobile as well as wireless. And a mixture of all these three is a smartphone. Smartphone is a handheld device. You can hold it in the hand. It's a mobile device. You can move it from one place to another place very easily, as well as it is wireless device. It supports wireless communication. Okay, right. And there are many mobile and wireless devices which were developed and introduced since 1990. So some of them are listed here. So we have portable computers, we have tablet PCs, we have internet tablets, we have PDAs, personal digital assistants, we have ultra mobile PCs, we have smartphones, we have computers, and finally we have fly fusion desktop computers. So let's see some images of these things. So we have laptops which are called portable PCs, and then we have tablet PCs like your Microsoft Surface laptops, and we have a reduced miniature version of the tablet PC called internet tablets. So they are small in size when compared to tablet PCs. And then we have PDAs, personal digital assistants, typically used for taking notes and making appointments. Okay, and those kind of details. And we have ultra mobile PCs, so it's like a tablet with a associated keyboard. And we have smartphones. Nowadays everyone is using this. And then we have computers, so it's like a mini computer inside your car, so that's why it's called computer. And then we have finally have fly fusion kind of computers. Okay, and then we are moving on to the next topic, which is trends in mobility. Okay, so trend means changes or events that take place during a period of time. So when you consider the trends of mobility, there are four types. One is user mobility, device mobility, session mobility, and finally service mobility. So how is this user mobility is changing over the time is the way the user interacts with the devices. Okay, for example, if you take smartphones, initially there was, the user interacted with the help of keys in the keypad. Later on, the keypad was replaced with the touch. So nowadays, all the smartphones are coming with the touch facility instead of keyboard. And then we have device mobility, which deals with the size of battery and supporting different kinds of networks. Okay, so in the previous days the batteries were very bulky and the technology was different. Nowadays the batteries are all lithium-ion batteries, and also if you consider networks, previously a mobile used to support only one kind of network. Nowadays it supports multiple networks. And then when you come to session mobility, so it deals with how data is distributed from one place to another place. Okay, and finally service mobility, how security is managed throughout the life cycle. So these are the different trends in mobility. Okay, and finally we will conclude this with the different types of attacks against 3G mobile networks. So first one is maybe all of you know malwares. Okay, malware. So types of malware, viruses and worms. So this category of attacks is true for 4G networks as well as 5G networks. There is no protection against these things. And we have second category, which is denial of service. So in the previous sessions I told you what is a DOS attack. So this is also applicable for 4G as well as 5G networks. And then we have something called overbilling attack. That is mm, suppose if you in your smartphone you have data, right? For browsing internet you need a data pack. Okay, so sometimes mm, sometimes it might happen. Maybe let's consider laptops. Okay, so you bought an internet, internet pack or broadband or whatever you consider. You got a plan, 1 month plan, where you pay some money and you browse the internet. Okay, for accessing the internet, your ISP has provided you username and password. So some other person, an attacker or you can say malicious person, that person is able to guess your username and password. Somehow that person is able to know what is your username and password. So that person, that attacker, is using your username and password to access internet. Okay. So when someone else is accessing internet using your own username and password, what happens? Even if you don't use anything, you are going to get billed per month. Okay. So that thing is called overbilling attack. And then there are very specific attacks called spoofed policy development process. So PDP means policy development process. So this attack deals with exploiting the vulnerabilities in GTP. So GTP means GPRS tunneling protocol. Okay, so these are old attacks. Nowadays these are not possible. And then finally there is a signaling level attack. So we are falling onto the physical channel properties. So we are going to mess up the signals. So and this kind of attacks are associated with VoIP services. So VoIP means voice over IP. Okay, like internet telephony, VoIP, voice over IP. So these are the different kinds of attacks that can be performed on 3G mobile networks. So that's it. Thank you.